Hello friends, welcome back to Sycophant. Let's talk game design. In the earlier build, there was a design flaw. The old premise was that you would gain cultists after each battle at night, but in game design, that lacks any potential for depth or nuance, so I needed to expand the gameplay loop with another element. The fix was to add a currency, used to obtain cultists that could be gained by performing combat tricks like killing multiple enemies with one rune. At the end of each of the new map locations, the caravan, the outpost, and the town, there's a secondary post screen that has 3 different ways to spend your devotion. 2 of the 3 options remain the same at each location, while 1 remains site-specific. Expansion and recruitment are available at all daytime locations. Expansion allows you to grow the total number of cultists you can have at one time. Using recruitment, you can gain followers up to your current maximum. As of right now, caravans are just donkeys and wagons, but I think at some point I will introduce more specific carts for each caravan director. The carts move across the map 1 space per turn. Each cart that makes it to the edge of the map will cost you the devotion of your followers, but each cart that you can kill will reward you with bonus devotion. The unique tile for the caravan location is Pillage, giving you a chance to loot the caravan for an extra rune at the expense of devotion. I think in the future this will also be a chance to loot really rare or run-altering items. The outpost is a bit generic right now, spawning more and harder enemies per turn, but it does come with a larger play area, being a 25 by 25 grid instead of the normal 19 by 19. The outpost's unique tile is Commune, which is the only place on the map where you can heal your cult leader's health. The town also feels a bit underwhelming for now. They have a 30 by 30 grid and also spawns stronger enemies. The unique tile for towns is Sacrifice, which allows you to sacrifice the number of cultists you have right now for a larger amount of devotion in return. Towns also carry a large amount of cultists to recruit, so you can refill after the sacrifice. Essentially, this is to reward players for taking the harder risk of going to a town with a chance to upgrade your cult. The AI has been expanded a bit. This was another problem in the game design, in that all the enemies are just walking bullet sponges. Kind of the same problem that games like Destiny or The Division have. The way that enemies are scaled in games like that is by adding more health and layers of armor, which ends up just being a test of endurance on how long you can hold down your trigger finger. Not really very engaging gameplay. This is definitely something that will need to have more work done to it in the future. Since the core mechanic is just zone defense, the enemies need to have more unique movements or actions in their AI. So some of the enemies will summon more enemies or can heal enemies within a radius of themselves. Enemies like the Rat King will spawn more rats on death, given there are more available tiles around itself when it dies. As well as the Goblin Detonator, which will spawn an explosion that will hit anything around it on death. The goal of these choices is to allow for more target priority in the game. Instead of target priority being based solely on the enemy's distance from the camp, you will now have to make more informed decisions about which enemies to target first. Finally, I made some basic UI adjustments. I added some drop shadows to the buttons because I have no idea how to make UI, so slapping drop shadows on stuff is my current band-aid. Then I made a pretty simple parallax for the main menu screen. And finally, I expanded the map feature to include a scroll by giving the camera a clamp on the x-axis so it can pan over map game objects. Right now it feels like the general game design is coming together. I would like to add more synergizing runes and unique effects that will change the run heavily. Thanks for watching. The new build is updated on itch.io. See you next time, friends.